Hi guys, welcome. This is Charities Bubble USA, your number one channel. We have a new topic that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. But first of all, I want to thank my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for supporting me in that like very massive way. I also want to talk to you who has not subscribed to my channel. Kindly consider subscribing, guys. When you watch my video, please give it a thumbs up and just leave a short comment. You can leave a short comment. You can ask a question, anything, guys. Just to see like there is interaction. And today I want to talk about domestic violence and because I saw a picture on Facebook and it really touched me because that's where I was living. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. My name is Charities Nganga and welcome, guys. Welcome. So I want to share this picture with you guys because I feel that for me, I feel a problem shared is a problem solved. So I'm gonna share this post. I just posted it on my Facebook there in a little bit, and that's what I want to talk about. I want you to look at this person here and this person here. So when you look at this person, this is the man and this is the wife, huh? Those two people. But before I even want to talk about what she did to him or whatever, I want you to look at this person here. And when you look at this person, I remember when we were growing up, like those people who used to wear the turban. They were Corinos. Like they were very respected. They were like the religious people. Like like those people you just look at them and you're like, oh my gosh. Like it was like a mystery. We never understood them very well. But at the same time, there was that respect on that religion, the people of that religion. Because I remember when I was little, we used to have a neighbor near my grandma's mother's house. And I remember that neighbor of ours, his gate was always closed. I know he was well up, I could tell because he had so many cars and everything. But the way they carried themselves, like their home is not like the home that you would walk in anytime or just go and make jokes or whatever. No, like this is something like this religion is like so much respected, especially among in the Kikuyu community. Very respected when we were growing up. But with time, how things are going, you can see that things are changing and people are changing. So that's why I want to talk about this because this happened in Kayole. I told you guys that I used to live in Kayole. Kayole is it's something that I would classify as a ghetto. I would classify it like that, like a more, I would say a more high end ghetto because I can't compare it with maybe like Madare, but it's it's where I stayed. I stayed there for like 11 years. So when something like that happens and you see like these people, they're homies, you know what I mean? Like they lived where you lived. So that's why I feel like I want to talk about this and look at how the world has changed. Earlier, we would talk about men beating up their wives. We would talk about men doing bad things to their wives. But now the culture has changed, guys. You see, that is a woman who did that to her husband. But do you think that that started in the first day? I don't think it did. It did not start in the first day. It is when you are living with that person, there are those signs that you can see, but you are ignoring them. You are ignoring those warning signs. And when you ignore those warning signs, this happens. Because sometimes, yes, it is good to be married. It is good to have a family, but not at the extent of your health, not as the extent to put yourself at risk or to put yourself in danger. So what are the warning signs that we ignore? Because this is happening a lot. You find that this person, they have done this person, they have done this. And it was unfortunate. I saw another comment on Facebook. I was like, oh my gosh, this is wrong. That this woman is still like free, still like going on her business and being rude. Now, if that had happened here in the US, guys, that thing could be on all the news, on everywhere, and that person could be in jail right now. That person would have been arrested. I know we don't have all those avenues whereby if someone becomes physical with you or they lay here, like putting your hands on someone here in the US, like That's a crime. You cannot put hands on people. Like, you just cannot. It doesn't matter whether it's your wife, whether it's your children. You cannot do that. So let's get clear with that. And here in the US, you find that it's a little bit different, because if someone is becoming violent or something is happening like that, the authorities are just 3 minutes away. You take your phone, call 911, and they're there immediately. They're there, and and they are just there to help. And of course, if someone has gone through domestic violence, there are so many resources that you can get help. So let's look at this. I was looking at this picture. I was seeing this guy is in so much pain. And I was thinking, what was going through the wife's mind when he decided to do that to him? Because that's bad. It's so sad. It's so sad. And it's even sadder because this is happening in the Kikuyu community, which is sad. Like, it's just horrible, because you find that this is not us. This is not our culture. This is not our culture. But you find that the world has evolved, and so many things are coming into place. And you find that some people are doing these things. Maybe they are depressed. Maybe what is going on in their house, the finances and all that, there is strains. Maybe there is infidelity. Those are just my speculations, why I would think that something like this would happen. But does it have to go all the way up to you putting your partner's life at risk, or putting your partner's life in danger? So when we look at both sides, you see a woman who is well dressed, who looks like she's kept well, and then you see the man there laying down. You're like, oh my goodness, what went wrong here? What went wrong here? So that's what I want to talk about here, whereby what happens. Like, what are you ignoring? Because this will happen today, it will happen tomorrow, it will happen the next day. So if I know the first thing, if you are in that relationship that something like domestic violence is going to happen, in the first place, your partner is always very jealous. Have you been in a relationship with someone who is so jealous, like they don't want you to talk to people, they don't want you to excel even in a little bit, or they are constantly putting you down? That is one thing, because you find that if that person has all that jealousy and they see that something is going good, doesn't, regardless, even women, especially women, can be very, very jealous. And at the same time, even men can be very, very jealous. You find that when they are overwhelmed about what you're doing, if you continue like excelling, and they have tried to put you down and they are not able to, these things happen. Because I don't think that this woman just woke up and decided to ban her, to do this to her husband. No, this was happening in a cycle, but there are those things that we just ignore, or we are like, oh, it's gonna get better, or maybe this happened today, maybe he slapped me, or maybe she slapped me, or she did this, or she called me a bad word, and maybe you're like, tomorrow is gonna be better, or I am going to pray about it. Sometimes praying, yes, it's good to pray, it's good to pray, but at the same time, it is good to take action. It's good to take action, because unless you run away from the danger, unless you are able like to be safe and to be sane, you find that these things are still gonna continue happening. Now, this person is possessive, there's very possessive. Maybe you're telling them, I want to go and visit my friends, they don't want you to go. I want to go and visit even to your family members, some of them won't let you go. They just will not, because they're very, very, very possessive. They are very unpredictable. Maybe you are laughing, or maybe you went out to have a good time, and then the next minute that person's anger is up to the roof. They cannot control their emotions. Their emotions are here and they are here. Today they're happy, tomorrow, the next minute they are not happy. Like all that. When you're looking at your partner, is that what you're seeing going on with that person? Another thing is that people who have a very bad temper, I know that there's help, especially with the domestic violence. You can still get help if you want to get it, but I still know that the system in Africa, sometimes it can be tricky, whereby you find that if one partner has the upper hand, or maybe they have resources, you find that sometimes it doesn't go well with the partner who doesn't have anything. I know those things happen, and I don't shy away talking about it, which I know it's a bad thing, because I believe whether you have money or you do not have money, you still deserve justice. You know, you deserve justice. If something that has happened to you, you really deserve justice, because things have happened to people. I see people like are opening up, they are talking in social media about what happened in their lives. But when when I listen to those stories, and I'm like, did this person seek help? Did they go and report that person? Because some of these things are criminal. But you find that some of them, maybe they reported and nothing happened. Some of them were too scared. Some of them were scared of the family. So you find that these things, they are suppressed. You are in a marriage and you know all this is going on, but at the same time, you do not have the courage to speak up. You do not even have the courage to go and seek help on the right place where you can get help. So that's another thing. The other thing is that they're very controlling. you know, someone is so controlling, like it's either them or the highway. There are those people who are like that, and then you're like, oh my gosh, because when you get married to a person, both of you are adults. Both of you are adults, and it's an institution. For me, I know a marriage is an institution whereby both of you should sit down and talk about that institution as adults. But I don't think that someone else is more superior, or they can do anything that they want to you simply because they feel like they can. No, I think a marriage is an institution, and when it stops becoming an institution and there are bad things that are happening, then it's time to get out. It's time to get out, because what I say is that I know that even when you get married, I remember when we said our vows, they say the vows, they say that only death can do you apart. But when there is violence, when someone wants to do something horrible to you, then I don't believe that you should stay there. It's time to get out. It's time to get out, because there is always life after divorce. Who cares? Hmm? I know the African culture, when a woman has been divorced, there are those stereotypes. There is that stigma. Oh, they got married, and right now they don't have their husband anymore, and they have 5 kids or whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares. You have to care about yourself enough and love yourself enough to remove yourself from danger. Because sometimes the abuser will do something bad to you, and then the next day they will be so nice. They'll bring you good things. They'll buy you presents, and then the other, you will be like, oh, they have changed. And then the next time it goes on, and every day you are staying there, it becomes worse. It becomes worse, because maybe this man, there was something that he was seeing in his wife, but he refused to acknowledge. He refused to acknowledge that red flag. And then at the end of the day, this person, when someone does something bad, and then you just ignore it, or maybe you don't talk, or you don't do anything, the next time they're going to do something to you is going to be on a higher level. It's going to be on a higher level, and it goes all the way to that, up to the time that they will do something like this, because it doesn't happen in one day, guys. It doesn't happen in one day. Sometimes maybe the spouse can be depressed and you do not know. That's why we are like, sometimes technology, I think it plays part in people being depressed, because you find that someone can stay on their phone for like 2 or 3 hours just looking at the phone. But when the partner has come in, or when it's family time, they're in the dining room and they're still looking at their phones. They're not talking. So I don't know where communication went. One time I was thinking that if people were told, if you would want to know, like, a very, very solid relationship, is whereby if you put two people in a room, or a family in a room, and without phones, and then you see, are they able to do that conversation, to work on the conversation, like, the way people used to talk. For me, my first mobile phone, I got it when I was an adult. Actually, I was working when I got my phone. So I remember we used to have conversations at home, but you find that nowadays those conversations, they are being pushed away, because all we want to do is look at social media. All we want to do is look at Facebook, what's going on in TikTok, what is going on in WhatsApp. So those communications, they are out of the door. And when communication is not there, you find that these things are going to happen. You're not going to know, or know this person when they are depressed, when they need help, because some of these things, they're happening because someone has been depressed for so many years, but the partner does not know why, because you're hiding. you're hiding on the phone, because you're just looking at your phone. And when the husband comes in, maybe you give them food or they feed themselves, or whatever happens, and then you still go back to your phone. So you find that some of these things, they happen, but we do not know that they are happening. The other thing is something like forced sex. Someone is forcing you to have all those things. So when you look at your marriage, when you look at the relationship that you are in, are these things happening? That is what you should be asking yourself. And then what can you do about it? If someone becomes violent, why are you staying there? You should get out, because it is what it is. And you cannot now, like, this person is going to stay in the hospital for a long time. They are at right now, when someone is on bans, they are even at risk of even dying. Why? Because you find that this is a disability that has been placed upon this person. But if that person had known, like, this is what I would have done, I would have, these are the signs that I can get out, because it's okay to get out. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to walk away from danger. This is not the time that, I remember when I was a little girl, and I've seen this one, and I'm going to talk about this with my mom, because my mom, when my dad left us, my mom did not leave her home, but my dad left us. Actually, he abandoned us. When he abandoned us, I remember at one point we had to go back to my grandmother's. My maternal grandmother. I remember we had to, under the reception, I was 9 years old, so I could understand what was going on. So I could hear those talks, like, she was married and now she's back, she's got kids, all that. And even the family members, they don't embrace you the way you're supposed to be embraced. Because when I look at you, and you have come to seek help, because you have come to seek help. They think about maybe the sons that you have, and the African community, about inheritance, whereby the girls are not supposed to inherit. I know it's changing, but those things happened, and there are some people who are still stuck to those times, whereby they were looking at a person who got out of their marriage as, like an outcast. I would say like an outcast, because like nothing comes out of you that is good, as when you are single and you have kids. Even the women who are married, they are not going to accept you, because they are thinking that you're going to steal their husbands, of which sometimes it doesn't happen like that. Most people, some people leave their marriages and they are focused on their family. They are focused on doing well on their family. So even when if the society change, the communities, the values change, and you are like, this person needs help, this person is going through divorce, this person has left the home, they should be embraced. The family members, the extended family members, should not be looking like this is an opportunity for them to come back and have wealth. No, sometimes it's not all about wealth. It's not all about money. Sometimes it's all about the sanity of a person. So embracing this person. But the first step is for you to step out, because you have to be able to step out. I did another video here, and I talked about marriage, and then one person was like, when people go to the US, they change. They do not change. What people do when they come to the US is that you understand yourself better, and then you look at yourself, like, you look at yourself and you're like, if this is happening and I can get help, then I should not put myself in danger. Because when you look at these people, maybe they had kids. Now, what's going on with the kids? Who is taking care of those children? What will the mother one day tell her kids when they grow up, and tell them? Is she gonna sit down and tell them that she did this act on their dad? That's wrong. What about the dad? What about the depression and the stress that he's gonna be under until he gets better? Sometimes some things happen so that we can learn. But what are we learning from this story? What has changed? So for me, what I think is that when you are in a marriage, or when you are in a relationship, and you see that these things are happening, even when you are in courtship, sometimes you don't even have to go to someone else to get married. So that now sometimes it's when you are in courtship and you see this person is not doing what they are supposed to do. I'm gonna remove this one, because they're not doing what they are supposed to do. It is a high time that you should walk away. So because you should walk away. I had to remove that picture there because I have to pick up the baby. So guys, so I thought that I would talk about it because I really felt bad. That is a place that I lived. I lived there for a while, and when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I even know these people. Hmm? Maybe they knew me because I know that where I used to be, I used to have a college of hair and beauty. Like most people knew me, although I did not know them. Most people knew me because they were associating me with that college. But then I was like, this is so sad. We need to change. Hmm? We need to change. And when we need help, we need to seek help. And even we need to learn our partners better and know what's going on with your partner, because some people don't even talk. They're just like, it's just you just it's like you know, it's like a bus, the way you go and enter the bus and the bus doesn't change. So we are thinking of our spouses like like things, not like humans. Hmm? So all this, when you look at it and when you put it into context and you think about it, when you start noticing, because you have to be able to notice this person was not like this, they have changed, then that is when you will be able to avoid all these things. So do not, even if it's a man, do not say that I am not going to go because of the kids. No. If there is danger and you see that your partner is not behaving the way they were supposed to behave, maybe they have been cheating out there and they lie. Because those things happen. I don't know if it's a hoax, but I was watching this other like prominent couple in Kenya, and they have very good business, a very beautiful family, and there is fighting in the house. But at the same time, I commend the woman, because I heard that she said that she'd been holding on for long just to keep the business and just to keep a good face. Sometimes it's not okay to keep a good face. Sometimes it's okay to walk away. Sometimes it doesn't even take a divorce. It takes like giving each other some space. You have your own space and think about it. It's like giving yourself a timeout. You give yourself a timeout. You get away from that situation and you observe it from outside. Because when you are by yourself, like, then you see things clearer than when you are inside. So sometimes you have to do that, because we don't want to go here whereby with the younger people who want to get married, they do not even know the importance of being married. They do not they have that fear, because they're like, I don't want to get married because I don't want to put myself in danger. No, this is a high time that we started. Look at the red flags. Look at what's going on. Look at can it be corrected? Can we sit down and talk about it? Because communication, like, it's the basis of a good marriage, guys. You can have all the love, you can have all the money, you can have everything, but if you do not communication sometimes it surpasses even the love that you have, because when you communicate you become more closer, but if you do not, then you become more apart. You see what I mean? So I felt like I wanted to talk about this, because when I looked at it, I was like, this could be my neighbors. If I was still in Kenya, this could be my neighbors, because I lived in Kayole Estate for the longest time. And it's sad. It's sad. And then I wish this man all the best. I wish him a quick recovery. And I wish that proper action is taken towards this woman who did this, because it's wrong. You cannot put your hands on people, like, you just cannot. It's wrong. So I hope that this video will help someone. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe. I have to cut it short because you see my daughter is here. But thank you guys for watching my video. See you next in another video. God bless you and stay safe.